Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, Kol Halo, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayashat Dabadat, the house of David, Amaya Shatab, with men of valor, Las Vegas camp, through the will and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, Lord willing, this be edifying lesson coming unto you. All right, this is going to be another part 2 installment on on searching the blessings. Okay, searching the blessings, for the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. All right, finding out and understanding who our forefathers were. All right, coming, the blessing being there from all time. All right, since the beginning, but we're going to trace it back through Shem, 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 Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this lesson. 1/3 of the nation of Israel will be saved for believing upon the true testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Seminole Indians, and you speckled bird who looks like the other nations. 2/3 of the nation of Israel will perish and die for not believing upon the true testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, believing on the name, practicing and rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this lesson. Lord willing, once again, to be edifying unto the body. This is going to be the book of Genesis. It's going to be chapter 15 and verse 1, and it reads, After these things, the words of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. All right, and this is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai saying, Abram, fear not. All right, I am your shield and I am your reward. What is this reward that is given unto Abram? That he would be the father of many nations, that the promises of this book of the Bible are unto you. All right, that as his seed flourish and nourish throughout the earth, the righteous seed that was chosen, all right, that the chosen seed would come out of his loins. All right, that his sons, all right, so on and so forth, that his lineage and his name would continue. All right, that the legacy of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's righteousness comes through his loins. All right, and that his nation that he brings forth would be a chosen seed unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, even though Abraham is the father of many nations, okay, there was still that one line, that one chosen seed, all right, to receive all the blessing and all the promises and receive the duty, all right, of the law, all right, which was the nation of Israel. Okay, because our forefathers are who? Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And who did Jacob beget? The 12 sons of the nation of Israel. Okay, continuing on, I jump down to verse 3 and read. And Abraham said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. All right, it says no one is I have received a promise and a blessing from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he is my reward, but I have not received a seed. I have not received an heir to the throne. All right, so that this blessing may be continued. Okay, and verse 4 it continues to say, And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. Right, so Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai promised him, all right, that there would be a seed. Yahweh promised him that there would be a seed line coming from his loins. All right, because where's the lineage traced back? Through your father's line. Okay, and if you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, reincarnation is a part of the Bible. All right, we are all reincarnated We have all been reincarnated multiple times. All right, so that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai may fulfill and perform all things that are written in this book. Okay, as he has ordained, as he sees necessary, not leaning upon your own understanding, but understanding that the scripts of the Bible have a purpose, have an order, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has a purpose in the order, and he sets forth everything, all right, in order. Okay. Continuing on, let me jump over to Genesis 16 and verse 3, and it reads, and Sarah, Abraham's wife, and and Sarah said unto, I'm gonna just read 16, and I'm gonna start at 16, and I'm gonna go ahead and start at 3. And it says, and Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelled 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. All right, and to be the wife. All right, here it is, his wife. All right, his wife, Sarah. All right, took her maidservant. All right, her servant. All right, her slave. All right, and took her to Abram and made him lay with her. Okay, to have sex. All right, is marriage. Okay, and that's a lesson for another time. But to have sex is marriage. So here it is. She had taken her maidservant to lay with Abram. All right, and let me continue. I just want to go and prove the point. I'm going to read that again. This is verse 3. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 3. And Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelled 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Okay, and that's important, and it's important to understand and know. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down to verse 8. All right. Slakia. I'm gonna read verse 4. I apologize. This is the book of Genesis chapter 16 and verse 4. And he went in unto Hagar. All right. He had intercourse. He went in. All right. He went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised. Her mistress was despised in her eyes. Right. All right. So she was upset. She was beyond pissed off. Okay. Continue on. I'm gonna drop down to verse 8, and it reads, and he said, Hagar. This drop down to verse 7. Salakia. And it reads, and the angel of Yahweh found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Sarah. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. All right, and here it is. She said, I gotta go because my mistress is upset with me. She no longer cares for me. All right, because I have conceived seed, by her husband. All right, by her Lord. All right, that she had given me to marriage. All right, to lay with. All right, continuing on. Verse 9, and the angel of Yahweh said unto her, return to thy mistress, and submit thyself unto her hand. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, I will multiply the seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. All right, so it shall not be numbered for the multitude. And that's important to know. All right. Matter of fact, Salakia, let me go ahead and pull this up. Salakia. All right. We're going to go here in the blue letter. This is going to be H2233.
Strong's H2233. Zerah. Zerah.
Zerah. Zerah. It says seed, sown, offspring, a sowing, seed, semen, virile, offspring, descendants, all right, children, all right, a practitioner of righteousness, sowing time by mention, all right, and so that right there, as it has said, it says, thy seed, okay, and let's go into H3808, and it says, that not.
Strong's H3808. Low.
H3808. Not, no, not with verb, absolute, prohibitant, slakia, not with, modify, negation, nothing, without. All right, before. All right, let's go ahead and go further. Okay, let's go to H5608, and it is thou shalt be numbered. All right, and before it says, let me read the verse again. The verse is Genesis 16:10, and the angel of Yahweh said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. All right, shall not be numbered for multitude. All right, so you got to keep that in mind, not be numbered for multitude. All right, it shall be numbered. My phone is tripping, Salakia. Shall be numbered. All right.
Strong's H5608. Safer.
All right. I don't, Salakia, if I'm mispronouncing that, is Safar. All right. And it says to count, recount, relate, to count, to number, take account of, reckon, all right, to be counted, be numbered, all right, and it said it should not be numbered, all right, therefore, this child and the seed after this child will not be numbered amongst the multitude. Let's go back and see what that says, for a multitude, let's go ahead and get that.
Strong's H7230.
Rove, multitude, abundance, greatness, multitude, abundance, greatness, numerous. All right. So this Hagar's son will be a great nation. All right, will be a great people. All right, but that nation will not have the blessing and the promises, even though, all right, they came out of the line of Abraham. All right, that's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai said he would be a father of many nations, but the promise would come through his seed and his line. All right, and then he goes on further to be more specific about which line and how he would bring that seed about and who he would bring it about with, or as we continue to go on. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, and I'm just going to keep on going and build up through the Spirit. Okay. Now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 16 and go down to verse 15, and it reads, And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Slakia, and Abraham was fourscore and 6 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. All right, and just to go and show you on this chart, Ishmael, all right, Ishmael right here is the so-called Arabs. All right, Ishmael would be our biblical big brother, okay, that came out of the land of Abraham. All right, if we're talking about a physical standpoint, all right, a lineage standpoint that came from the same seed line. All right, it would be Ishmael, which would be Arabs. The Arabs would be they would be Israelites, or Salaki, they'd be Hebrews. They wouldn't be Israelites. All right, they would be Hebrews, but not Hebrew Israelites. Okay, the seed and the lineage. All right, the lineage was not the seed and the lineage, and the promises were not unto Ishmael. Okay, as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has stated. Okay, going to 17 and verse 1, and it reads, And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. All right. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has revisited him again. All right. He has revisited Abram again. And I'm going to drop down, matter of fact, to start at 7. All right. And it reads, And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generation for an everlasting covenant, to be a power, which that word right there is God, to be a God unto thee and to the seed after thee, right? Continuing on, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art, wherein thou art, and a stranger all the land of Canaan, for the everlasting possession, for I will be their power. I will be their God. Okay, continuing on, verse 9. And God said unto Abram, Thou shalt keep my covenant. Thou shalt keep my covenant. Salakia. And God said to Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant. Therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and the seed after thee. Every man-child amongst you shall be circumcised. All right, so this is the covenant that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has given unto Abraham. All right, Abraham is establishing the seed line right here. And he said, every male child that is amongst you, all right, you must circumcise. But it goes on to continue further to say in more detail. How exactly is he going to do it? Well, let's go ahead and read on. This is going to be the book of Genesis chapter 17, and we're going to go to verse 15. Salakia. God. And it's 15, and it says, And the power said in Yahweh, all right, Bashem Yahushai, the power of Israel, all right, and the power said unto Abraham, As for Sarah, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. And Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said, in his heart shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear. All right. Hey, and this was Abraham saying, all right, this was our forefather saying this, hey, in his mind. He laughed. All right, continued on. And Abraham said unto the power, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Here's the point. Okay. Verse 19, and the power, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant, all right? The covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? Hey, starting from Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? This is another forefather of ours, okay? The promise was given, the line came through Shem, was given unto Abraham. Now Abraham is to pass it unto Isaac, okay? Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him, an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him, okay? With the seed after him. This was a covenant given unto Abraham, Isaac. All right, so the covenant has came through Shem so far, went to Abraham. Now Abraham has passed this covenant on to Isaac. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is all being established. All right, in the spirit. All right, in the spirit to come physically. All right, as a physical blessing. All right, and it was Salakia, and it was established further. Okay. Salakia. All right. And let's go back. This is Genesis. Salakia, my eyes are messing with me. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 1. And it reads, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. All right. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai saying, be thou perfect. All right. Walk before me. And when he had established this, he had established this blessing that was to be given unto him. All right. When he gave this blessing unto him, he had given him a blessing with Isaac. All right. Isaac was the chosen line that his seed was to come through. All right. It's going to give you more detail. All right. As you go through. All right. And then Isaac was born. Even though Ishmael was born first, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said in chapter 17 and verse 19, and the power said, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son, indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after thee. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and prove that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is just in all his ways. Okay, and that he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Okay, this is going to be the book of Genesis, chapter 18. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead and drop down. All right, because this is that portion's another lesson for another time. But let's go ahead and drop down, and prove that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai made good on that word. Okay, this is going to be the book of Genesis. And it's going to be Genesis chapter 18 and verse 9. And it reads, and they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, behold, he said, behold, the tent. All right. And who's asking him are, if you read this chapter, starting at verse 1 and 18, he had heavenly visitors. All right. Let me read the first two scripts, Salakia. And it reads, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 18, and verse 1, and it reads, and Yahweh appeared unto him in the plains of Mamir, Salakia, if I pronounce that wrong. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him, and when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself towards the ground. Right. Hey, and this had to be ordained and know who it had to be. All right. Because any angel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, does not accept you bowing down towards them. All right. Because they are servants just as you. All right. So that's an indication that who's this script talking about. All right. If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, all right, who will have every knee, all right, and every knee bow and every mouth confess that they are Lord, all right? Servants, all right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay, do not bow down to angels, okay? We bow to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai alone. Okay? Because this is if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, Salakia. Let me continue on topic. Lord willing, I do a lesson about that and get more in detail and bring it out the right way. All right? But continuing on, let me jump down to verse 9 again, and it reads, and they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. Right here it is. Said, I will return unto thee according to the time of life. Okay? Got to think about that. All right? Hey, pray upon that. Said, I will certainly return unto thee in the time of life. And lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Salakia. Which was behind him. All right. So when Sarah heard this thing, hey, what did she do? The scripture said she did what? She laughed. Okay. So being that she laughed, hey, how about Shem Yahushai said, hey, okay, just speaking as a man, the only way I can say it, he said, okay, so you don't believe, okay? Continuing on, verse 11, and it says, then Abraham and Sarah were old, and well stricken in age, and it came to be with Sarah after the manner of women. All right, so she was older in age. All right, and her womb have closing up. All right, she no longer was fertile. All right, but continue on to say, therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for Yahweh? Right. He's saying, is anything too hard for Yahweh? This is the question that was asked. All right. Do you not believe that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can do all things? All right. Do you not believe that Yahweh can take a woman of an old age and make her be able to conceive seed and open her womb? All right. Do you not believe? This is but a small thing for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. How could you not believe that the creator of the universe and his only begotten son couldn't do these things? All right. Here it is. You'll believe on a man that can make a fuel to drive a car. All right. You'll believe on the Wright brothers, even though they weren't technically the first people to do an airplane. But here it is. You believe, that these men created flying. All right. You believe all these miracles of these so-called miracles in this world, but you won't believe, hey, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, who has created all things. Okay? Continuing on, verse 14. Is anything too hard for Yahweh? And at the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. All right. So, hey, she got called out that she did laugh. All right. Lacking faith. All right. She was lacking the faith that, hey, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai could do that. All right. So, hey, she got chastised for it. Okay. She got reproved for it. All right. And hey, and then when you go on further into the story, you will continue to see. Matter of fact, Salakia. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's go to Genesis chapter 21. Genesis chapter 21 and verse 21 and verse 8, and it reads, And Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said. As he had said. Alright, he visited her as he had said, and Yahweh did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Alright, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not a man that he should lie. He did as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age at the set time. All right. Did not the angel said he would come at the appointed time, at the set time of which the power had spoken to him? All right. Continuing on, verse 3. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare, to him Isaac. All right. There goes our forefather. Promise was given to come through the line of Shem, Abraham, Isaac. All right, we're at Isaac that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has promised the seed line to come through. Okay, continuing on, and Abraham, Slakia, and Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as the power had commanded, as Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, as the power Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's law, statutes, and commandments ordains at the 8th day that all male children of the nation of Israel be circumcised in the 8th day. Okay? Be circumcised in the 8th day, as Yahweh had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, the power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, the power hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. All right. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai made good on that word, made good on that promise. Okay, when he said that she would conceive seed, the angel had told Abraham at what, 99. All right, he had told him at 99, and a year later, hey, what did he do? He conceived seed. Okay, continuing on, and she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah shall have given children suck? For I have bore him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was winged, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. All right, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Slakia, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has ordained all right things. All right, if you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, a mystery is clear unto you. All right, that there are videos of brothers given this mystery. All right, breaking it down, and Lord willing that I do a video on it. Okay, But this mystery, is right here in front of your face if you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. All right, this is an account that is given unto the children in the nation of Israel for an exhortation, all right, to be lifted up, and that for you to be able to magnify the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, his ways and his work. Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, "And it came to pass after these things that the power did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am." Verse 2, "And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of." All right, so here it is. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai had promised him. All right, Yahweh had promised him. All right, had promised him an heir. But now he goes and he says he tempted Abraham. All right, the power did tempt Abraham. All right, and this is verse 1, chapter 22 and verse 1. Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 22 and verse 1, and it reads, "And it came to pass after this thing that the power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the power did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here am I. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee." So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai said, hey, I know you love this boy. I know you love him. But what you will do and what you need to do is offer this boy as a sacrifice unto me. You have to offer your only begotten son unto me. All right. And why did Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai do that? Matter of fact, let's go here. All right. Let's go ahead and get it. Salakia. This is going to be the book of Exodus. It's going to be the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1, and it reads, And the power, Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images of any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. All right. And here it is. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai was testing who? He was testing Abraham to make sure, even though he already knew, but to make sure that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's word stood within Abraham, that Abraham was an obedient servant, all right, that he continued in the way that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai had given him, all right, had ordained him and had given him this blessing, all right, the blessing of Isaac. Would he give that blessing up for obedience? Okay. And rightfully so, that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai did this very thing. Okay. Going back to Genesis, chapter 22. Salakia. Chapter 22, and we're going to read at verse 9, and it reads, And they came to the place which the power Yahweh had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bounded Isaac his son. All right, so he tied him up. All right, he bound him. He bound him with ropes, his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of Yahweh called unto him out of the heavens and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest Yahweh, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. All right, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, he was pleased in this doing. All right, he was pleased what he had done unto him, the obedience he had unto his word. Okay, dropping down to verse 15. Okay, and I'm gonna read it through 19, and it reads, And the angel of Yahweh came unto Abraham out of the heavens the second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith Yahweh, for behold, thou hast done this thing, and thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed after the stars of heaven, and as the sands which is upon the sea shore. And and thy seed shall possess the gate. Thou seed shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they rose up, went together, and to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelled at Beersheba. All right, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai blessed Abraham. All right, he continued to bless Abraham. Why? Because he was obedient. He was obedient unto his word. He was obedient to give his only begotten son. All right, Salakia. He was obedient to give his only son. All right, which in the spirit is the only begotten son. All right, as that sacrifice in the scriptures, Yahushai was that only begotten son. Okay, to be given up for a sacrifice for who? The nation of Israel. Okay, the nation of Israel, and the nation of Israel alone. Okay, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Salakia, jumped a little bit all over the place and went a little farther than I expected, but Lord willing, it was edifying unto the body. All right, I want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushai B'Hashem, Rechak Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayah Shetabadat, the house of David. Till next time, Amaya Shetab with men of valor, saying Shalom, Wat, Abal, Babal, Kwam Yasharal, Shalom.